Well, it seems that version 5.3 is getting worse and worse for F2P players. We just got the full lineup for 5.3, and not only does it feature an Arlecchino rerun, but it seems that Mavuika and Citlali will be in the same phase. So in this video, let's take a look at the new info we got. If you want to save up to 20% on the current banners, visit lootbar.gg. I will buy the 6,480 Genesis Crystals pack for $82, which costs $100 in the game. All I need to do is enter my UID and choose a server. Since every top-up goes through Genshin top-up channels, I received the double amount of Genesis Crystals for my first purchase and saved $18 on top of that. Besides Genshin, you can also top up in Honkai Star Rail, and Lootbar has around 20,000 5-star reviews for both games. I used Lootbar to send dozens of welcons from my giveaways, so I can personally recommend it. Use my link in the description to get an additional 8% discount. First off, this news comes from Fullstop Chan, who is one of the most reliable sources for Genshin leaks. So while this isn't officially confirmed yet, it's safe to say this information is pretty solid. Let's start with Phase 1. And wow, this lineup is something we haven't seen before. The first phase will feature 2 brand new 5-star characters, Mavuika and Citlali. Let me just say, I don't think we've ever had 2 new 5-star characters in the same phase before. It's honestly a pretty bold move by Hoyoverse. Usually they release 1 new character per phase and pair them with a rerun, but here they're doubling down with Mavuika, the Pyro Archon, and Citlali, a Cryo character. Mavuika is a Pyro Claymore user with a unique kit involving a motorcycle and Night Spirit mechanics. She's expected to be one of the most powerful characters we've ever seen, which makes sense since she's an Archon. Citlali, on the other hand, is shaping up to be a cryo support, or sub-DPS. Her kit includes elemental shields and off-field cryo application, which makes her a strong utility character. Both of these characters are not only exciting, but also incredibly tempting for a lot of players. And here's where the dilemma begins. If you're F2P, choosing between them is going to be really tough. Now let's move on to Phase 2, which is also stacked. This phase will feature Clorinda and Arlecchino, 2 highly popular Fontaine rerun characters. Clorinda, as many of you know, is an electro DPS who brings stylish, high-damage gameplay to the table. If you didn't get her during her initial release, this might be your chance to add her to your team. Arlecchino, on the other hand, has been one of the most hyped characters from Fontaine. Having these 2 characters in the second phase makes it just as difficult to decide where to spend your Primogems. Both are solid reruns, and many players who skipped them the first time around will definitely be eyeing this banner. If you thought the banner lineup wasn't enough, version 5.3 will also include the next Chronicled Wish, focusing on Liu characters. Chronicled Wishes are always a big deal, especially for players who want to collect limited characters they might have missed. While the exact lineup hasn't been confirmed, speculation points to big names like Xiao, Ganyu, Yelan, and Baizhu, alongside some standard characters like Chi-Chi or Keqing. For anyone who loves Liyue characters, this banner is going to be really tempting. But here's the problem. With the main banners already being so stacked, it's going to be nearly impossible for F2P players to afford pulling on the Chronicled Wish too. So what do you think about this lineup? Are you planning to pull for Mavuika, Citlali, Clorinda, or Arlecchino? Or are you saving for the Chronicled Wish? Let me know in the comments. And if you want to save up to 20% on Genesis Crystals, visit lootbar.gg. All you need is your UID and server. The link is in the description.